I'm gonna puke.
Don't. Not at the table.
You know I have a weak stomach.
Not this close to the holidays.
Oh, we are near Thanksgiving, aren't we?
Yeah, it's coming. It smells like Thanksgiving in here, sort of.
Oh, it does smell really nice in here. You are such a maternal homemaker, Betty Sue.
I've gotten part of that note before. I've gotten sometimes so Maddie Schmidt, fabulous comic who lives here. Hi, Maddie. She said that when I'm hosting a mic that I have the energy of a brothel, the madam of a brothel. That's the maternal instinct I possess.
You would run a clean brothel. There'd be fucking and sucking going on in the rooms, but the lobby spotless.
Yeah, right. There'd be fresh, the newspapers would and magazines would be freshly arrayed on the table out there.
Mm-hmm. There'd be Jesus. There'd be crucifixes all over.
Oh, sure.
Crosses. It would be like a Southern Gothic vibe. Lots of red. Some
that I don't see for myself.
I'm looking at this tapestry behind you.
That's a little more Baroque. It's not Southern Gothic.
It's giving period blood.
Well, speaking of which...
Wait, what's the transition?
Roommates.
Yes. But first, welcome to the Let's Get Bread podcast, where we talk about all things sex, money, food, and religion. That is week 2 in a row that I nailed it.
Mm-hmm. And this week we are talking about none of those things.
Well, have you ever fucked a roommate?
Never.
Really?
Never the once. Nor would I ever want to, for that matter. I imagine, I don't know, roommates are a difficult thing, which is why I live profoundly alone and have for the past decade and a half, I think. It's been a long time since I've had a roommate. And I like that for me.
I kind of like that for you too. The idea crept in. I was like, because when you come, when we hang out, we don't we're not going clubbing.
No.
Okay. Our hangouts are very chill. Let's come over, let's watch a movie, or I wanted you to teach me how to bake bread, but I had to figure that out on my own, didn't I? But it's very chill hangouts. I'm like, I could live with Everett. And then that thought lasted for about 10 seconds. Where I was like, absolutely not. Because when you get in a mood, I just want to shake you, put you over my knee and just...
Yeah, you don't want this smoke. I am... when I get, I realize, so I've lived successfully with 2 men, and 1 woman. JP from college. We lived together my freshman and sophomore year, I think, whatever it was. A very good friend, great big tall fella from Arkansas. I think he was physically large enough and didn't give a shit enough about what I was on about that he was able to keep me in check in some ways. Mm-hmm. I remember distinctly sophomore year of college, I decided I wanted to get better at fighting. And so I would walk into our room and JP would be sitting playing video games and he'd look at me and
he's holding up your couch cushion.
No. And I'd say, "What are you looking at, bitch?" And he'd be like, "Everett, don't talk to me like that." I'd be like, "What are you going to do about it, bitch?" And then he'd get up and he'd, ball me up and throw me in a corner as,
You're sopping wet.
So yeah, he could keep me in check. And then Jamal.
Yes.
The aforementioned Jamal. He and I lived together my senior year of college. Also fabulous, lovely. He is possibly one of the brightest shining stars I know. Okay. And I'm difficult to live with. I know this.
I know this too, and I've never even lived with you. We did pretty well in Taiwan.
Yeah, that was 10 days. That was 6 days in Taiwan.
Yeah. I thought you would have snapped. You didn't snap on me. Mm-mm. I was waiting for you to just freak out over just nothing other than just me being too close or me being just alive.
That sentiment was stalking me from the tree line. It was...
Remember last episode and I was like, sometimes you're 1947. That was stalking me from the tree line.
You got me there with the Gothic imagery. Yeah. That I think I value my space in such a way because I've had bad roommate situations, because I've had bad work situations. I really very intensely value my private time and space. And so, if you're the sort where you need a refuge from whatever it is that's been, harrowing you through the day, any intrusion on that space gets to be met as this is an extinction level event. I need to respond with weapons grade plutonium and insults. And, I'll have dinners here frequently, as you know.
You're you're introverted. I mean, I hate, honestly, everyone says this. I'm an introvert, but I have extroverted tendencies. But like, you really bridge the gap, like on both.
Yeah. I mean, I need a place to abscond to. I need a lair. I need a quiet place where I am, preferably without bars on the windows. This is critical. Where I can, that made it sound like prison. I just meant like a second floor apartment. Overall, even though I've had successful roommates, I've had one terrible roommate, which we can get into. And that one experience has made it clear to me I must never live with another living human being outside of having like a marriage contract. And even then, maybe let's get apartments in the same building.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Sure. Yeah. I could live with her.
Her and her husband. Oh, no, her and her husband live separately.
Yeah, that seems wise. Like sleeping separately is one thing. Living separately, that seems like a darling idea to me.
I mean, they have money, so it's like, do what you want. But like, I'm just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the financials don't make sense there.
Yeah,
but
nope.
Yeah. So tell me, how about your roommate situations? What have you got going on in the hood?
So I've only lived alone in my adult life once, and it was for 2 years while I was in Minneapolis. Yeah. And so I was really nervous moving here, living with someone, just because I had just come from, well, I guess I was living with people before I moved here. I lived with Brittany, who I love very
Spears.
much.
Yeah.
Britney Spears. No, I mean, I like roommates because I'm like you, where I am introverted and I can't even fake a good time when I'm in public if I'm not enjoying it. So you are someone where like, I feel like you go out and you can enjoy people, you can talk to people, you want to like make people laugh. I sometimes am just like, I hate this. I don't want to be here. And you can tell. So I almost need roommates because otherwise I could be by myself forever.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
Yeah. Like I really, truly don't need to go to the clubs anymore. I don't need to be on the dance floor. I know that sounds like we're on this podcast putting an out for people to like listen to. I guess that's an outlet for me to not go to a bar. So it's like, I appreciate roommates. I've always had them. I've had good ones for the most part. I haven't had any total catastrophic, chaotic ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was the catastrophic, chaotic roommate back when in my early 20s, shortly before I gave up the drink, before my first overdose, you know. And toxic situation. I was the chaotic roommate. My roommate was the chaotic roommate also at the time, was stealing from me. Like I would, and like would steal shit out of my room, lie about it to my face, to the extent where it's like I just confronted him with the evidence, like, you have stolen from me. You have committed a crime. Broke a lease to get away from him. I was paying rent on 2 apartments for 2 months in DC.
Just to get away from him?
Just to get away from him because I hated him that much.
Wow.
And we obviously takes 2 to tango, et cetera, you know, bad dynamic. But he had a boyfriend at the time who would stay over for weeks at a time. Really irritating, but whatever. You know, like that's just part of being in your 20s as your idiot roommate has their boyfriend. This boyfriend, however, would sleepwalk. And so I was working in restaurants. I was a waitress at the time. So I was up coming home late at probably 2-ish in the morning, something like that. And when you're a waitress and you get home, you need like an hour to unwind. You don't just go straight to bed. So I'd be up till 3 or 4 in the morning. He would frequently sleepwalk out from roommate's room to the kitchen and like get snacks. And I'd usually find him at the refrigerator, butt ass naked, eating a cupcake in the light of the refrigerator. Like funny and, you know, kind of, oh, weird, haha, funny for the first time. After a couple months of it, I was like, I hate this. And then the boyfriend, I remember this was back in the era of when Gmail, everybody was using GChat on Gmail. And he messaged me. I forget why I was on GChat during the day. I must have just been studying for whatever the fuck. I was at a library or something on a computer. I was not homeless, but I was using a computer at a library, whatever. And he had messaged and he made a pass at me. Like he started being flirty over message, and I shut it down immediately because I didn't want anything to do with it. And then he said something like, I've been kind of hoping to run into you again while I'm, you know, late at night, one of these nights. And I remember just clicking out of GChat. And then I think I even talked to my roommate about that. I think I said to him, I was like, hey, look, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's been sleepwalking a bunch. He started messaging me.
We had 2 roommates?
I just had the one, the roommate, the boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
I wanted nothing the fuck to do with this whatsoever. Come to find out years later, I ran into him, not the roommate, but the ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend. I ran into him at a bar. And he told me, he's like, oh yeah, your roommate at the time was convinced that you were in love with me or in love with him. And so he wanted me to like try and I don't know, like make a pass at UNC. Ridiculous, stupid thing like that.
So he was put up by your roommate to flirt with you to see if you take the bait.
That's my understanding. And the fact that those two idiots would do that in like the one, sure, he's on the lease, like we can have a fist fight and iron it out that way. The other one, you're not on the lease. This isn't even your fucking apartment, and you're going to introduce rankers into the vessel of my peace? I think not.
1947. Interesting. So
yeah, I broke that lease so fast. I moved away, and then I remember he was trying to come at me with some like, I'll take you to Judge Judy over the thing. And I was like, sister, and very rich kid, like grew up very wealthy. Father was an athlete, as I recall, a pro athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, I will get, and it was fucking 2010 money. So it was like, the rent was, I think, $800 a month.
That's, I mean,
unthinkably cheap. And it was like ham sandwich and a bottle cap.
A third of our rent right now. Yeah.
But I fucking made it work. I worked doubles until I had the knees of a 60-year-old woman. I was just running ragged to pay the rent on this place and my other new place for 2 months, and just got away from it. Never spoke to him again.
Damn. Yeah, I've literally never had like a friendship breakup or like a roommate breakup. I've definitely been, so my problem is every single roommate situation I've been in, I've always been the clean one. And I always know going into a roommate situation that I'm just going to be the type A one that like ends up doing extra dishes, who mops, sweeps, does whatever. Like my current roommate, love him to death. He's the cleanest one I've ever actually, well, him and Sam, which coincidentally are both men. The girls who I've lived with have all been the messy, gross.
Have you lived with Rachel?
No.
Oh. I mean, she seems like she'd be a gross dirtbag.
100%.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel wanted to live together like in like 2020, and I was like, honey, no, end of our friendship.
Oh, that's terrible. When somebody's like, hey, let's live together, and you have to be like, sweetheart, no.
And I love her to death. Best friend in the entire world. Known her since 7th grade, but it just could never work. But the girls were, and I love them all dearly, and I'm still friends with them, and like just love them so much. Dirty. And it got to a point where I was the only one cleaning. There was 4 of us in a house. It was me and 3 girls.
Tragedy of the commons.
During COVID, so everyone's home all the time.
Oh dear.
And so I would clean every single day and then build these tiny little resentments where I'm like, ugh. And so then I would eat their food, get back at them, and they would be so pissed because they'd like go into their fridge looking for their takeout, and they were like, where is it? And I would be in my room like,
you are a monster.
Absolutely not, because here's the thing. I have no problem being your maid. I will be paid for it.
Oh,
I will be paid for it.
Yeah, see, that's the type of thing that I've come to realize, that you cannot control other people. You can even barely control yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like living alone. If I come home, there's dishes in the sink, I've left them there. If I come home and everything's dusty, it's because I haven't dusted it. If the lint trap hasn't been emptied,
Totally.
I forgot to do it. That's my B. Okay.
Yep.
I'll do it better next time. Because those resentments do pile up like snowdrifts. And then suddenly you can't open the door anymore without just this overwhelming heart attack. Like, I am going to have a coronary if I see one fucking mug in the sink.
Even just sometimes, like, this isn't their fault. This is my own psychology, but even just them breathing.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, and it has nothing to do with anything they've done. Even if they were perfect, even if the apartment's spotless, if I had a bad day and I'm on one and I come home and they're sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe you're breathing. I can't believe you're.
How can you breathe at a time like this?
How could you? And it's like, because they live there.
Yeah, it is strange. It's just, I think back to like all of the things that make me a bad roommate. One of my top hits, JP tells me, and his girlfriend Katie, who I adore. Hi, Katie. One of my greatest hits is that I would come into the room, turn on music, and then just fuck off and leave for like 2 hours. And they'd always be like, is he coming back? We're like, no, he just came in to put on Tegan and Sarah and leave.
That Tegan and Sarah.
Yep.
Obsessed.
Changing the vibe. It was 2020.
It's closer on a loop.
Sploosh. Oh yeah, that too. I play a song on repeat until the wheels come off my fucking speaker.
I'm the same way, and I thought more people would do that. I'll go for like an hour-long walk listening to one song.
Yeah.
Right now it's the Dancing on My Own and then Sun Bleached Flies Ethel Kane mashup.
Sure. Yeah.
And people don't do that.
No, it turns out it's objectionable. People will grouse and complain.
When people do their Spotify year-end wraps, their number one most played song, they're like, whoa, I've played the shit out of this song. It's like 29. Mine's like 490. It's like out there.
That suddenly makes me want to check my Spotify Wrapped from last year and see. I can't even figure out what I shudder to think. But yes, I fixate on things. And
So have you ever lived with a partner?
No.
So I had a boyfriend that I dated for like 3.5 years.
Wait, are you gay? What?
We lived together for 2, and he was really clean too. Terrible for relationships. Terrible for relationships. We moved in way too soon together. We were apart for a year, so we're dating distance. Both moved to Minneapolis at the same time and then lived together right off the bat. We weren't even in the same city for a year, and then we moved in together. How fucking stupid was that? And speaking of music, he would wake up before me, and I would wake up every single morning. This fucking gay boy, who I still like, and we're on good terms, and he will laugh at this, but every single morning was Katy Perry. Every single morning was Katy Perry. It was like Katy Perry, and then I like Taylor Swift, but he would play Speak Now, the song, which is just a little too happy for me, I like his taste in music at the time was just like this sugar pop, where it was like, I gotta lead into the day with like Elliott Smith or like Lana Del Rey, something to soothe me in.
Sure.
Maybe not Firework.
Yeah. See, that was one thing Jamal and I, we really always connected on very, very strongly. Was musically, our tastes aligned almost perfectly in a lot of ways. Jamal loves a honey-voiced white boy with a guitar, and in the mornings that's appropriate, I don't know. I mean, I think of like when I went on that road trip date to the beach and Trade started playing musicals on the drive back, on that punishing drive back Wicked soundtrack.
Yep.
I was contemplating getting out on the freeway and hitching a ride home.
Which I just saw the second Wicked. I'm sorry, everyone. Not good. Not good.
Are we surprised?
I try to like Wicked. I hate when people shit on things that everyone likes, i.e. Taylor Swift or just like pop music in general. Like, I just hate when someone's like, that sucks. I don't mean to be that guy. I'm glad everyone is happy. It was cool to see people get dressed up for it, whatever. The problem with Wicked has always been, whether it's the stage musical or now the film, the second act fucking sucks. All the bangers are in the first act, and the second act is just this made-up story. Like, the first act is like, okay, it ends with Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, and like she flies away, and we know now she's been framed to be this wicked thing. Anyway, I'm going to go on a whole tangent. The second movie sucks, though. I'm not going to hide behind that.
What do you think it'd be like to live with Ariana Grande?
Okay, your dislike of her. I like Ariana Grande. I actually think she is the best part of the second movie. She's excellent. So is Cynthia. Those two performances are great.
I didn't ask you that.
But what it would be like to live with her? I'm sure fantastic. She has 17 houses.
Well, you wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, you wonder when you get to be... Okay, so this is what's the problem with living with people who grew up with money. They don't
know how to do anything.
No,
that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
I've observed, not through personal experience. Fortunately, I've always lived with normal, regular people, except for that DC roommate. Heard horror stories of roommates who just like didn't understand laundry.
So my mom did my laundry. My mom was a great mom. She was very hands-on. But one thing I'll never forget is like when I was younger, she was like, we might not have the nicest house, but we're going to treat it like it is. And so I think kids that grow up with pools and these big houses, they just don't. They're like, I don't care about anything. Or they almost like romanticize living in a home with beanbags or something, like it's just like, why do you suck so bad at cleaning?
Yeah. Like, do you suppose Lana Del Rey has a very filthy home?
100%. 1,000%.
She would be a terrible roommate. I think we all know.
Yeah.
I would rather live with Azealia Banks than
Just
Lana Del Rey.
ashtrays everywhere. Just like finished Coke cans, vanilla Coke cans with her ash cigarettes.
Wasps everywhere. Just windows open. Ozark summer.
Half-used Ozempic needles just strewn about. You're like, wait, is that heroin? Oh no, it's Ozempic.
It's Ozempic, yeah. I simply shudder to think. I try and imagine, okay, in the future, should the Republic persist and I find a boyfriend who I want to move in with, how does this happen? How does this work? Because that's ultimately, in the eyes of the state, nothing matters. You're roommates. That's it. If you're on a legally binding contract, you're either married, and we'll see how Kim Davis's lawsuit goes, or you're on a lease.
Do you not know?
What?
They're not going through.
That's right. I mean, she's going to keep trying. She's persistent that way.
Well, she owes money, so this is like her out. But
yeah. And we'll see what the Fifth Circuit has. A very conservative circuit of the court.
No, that was actually like the first piece of good news we got in a while.
Yeah. I mean, the news would be
after.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He sure did win. This had a point. Oh, how to become the best roommate possible. I think it starts with not trafficking in resentments, and that is something I fundamentally refuse to stop doing.
One thing that I just this happened probably 3 or 4 years ago, because like I said, like I built all these resentments living with people of like, I do the dishes more, I'm the only one that vacuums, I'm the only one that mops. Like in my early 20s, I was just so annoyed. I was keeping score. When I was like 27, 28, I'm like, okay, I can't afford a home. Our whole generation has been lied to about, go to college, whatever. I'm going to need roommates if I'm going to want to live in Los Angeles. I'm going to need roommates if I want to live the life I want to live. And so I need to stop keeping score. So I just know about myself. If I'm going to live with you, I'm the maid. I'm going to be the clean one. I'm going to be the one that keeps the apartment home running. And I just have to shut my mouth about it. And I can't even when I do get annoyed with my current roommate, who is very good, but he is allergic to the dishes. Like I put all of his dishes in the dishwasher. Derek, I love you, but I do that. I will, and I know never to even complain about it to Rachel, Matt, or any of my friends.
Except on the podcast, yeah.
We're talking about it. And we all have our own things. Like his is like, he'll just put his dish in the sink and it's not that hard. I just take the dish and I put it in the dishwasher. Like, big deal.
You've got that friend when you put a drink on a table and they pick your drink up and put a coaster under it.
Totally.
Like that kind of thing.
Yep. And like, for example, my thing, like for some reason, I grew up in a house, we took our shoes off, like right in front of the door. Yeah. It's not organized. My shoes are just like laying in front of the door and like they get moved or.
I'm confirmed right now. They are just right in front of the swinging door.
That's what we did. I don't know. And that was where the rug was. And we just did that. And then, or sometimes like, I don't know, I have a dog, so my dog's gonna puke and shit sometimes, like in the house, because she doesn't have hands to get out. So it's like I'm ultimately probably the grosser roommate just by her alone. But
yeah, I feel like my worst qualities as a roommate, they're all bred in the bone. They're not behavioral; they're pathological.
What I was gonna say is you will have to change. I'm glad that you've enjoyed the last decade. But for it to work successfully, having a roommate, like now that you're getting up there in your age, you will need to like make some compromises.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's true. I'm
for sure a 2-bedroom where you both sleep separate. I don't know that could you share a bed?
I don't know.
I think it sounds nice. I just know.
Is it an Alaskan king?
I'm dog sitting right now. I have a little wiener dog.
Oh yeah, you sure do.
This wiener dog is the cuddliest dog I've ever known. I'll be sitting upright on a couch and it will stand on my lap.
Aww.
And then it like will rest its head and nestle. It'll be standing. It's adorable. Yeah. In the middle of the night though, and when wiener dogs, they hunt badgers. So they like are all about burrowing and whatever. It will burrow under the covers and it will not leave me alone. It is constantly touching me. I've said this on the pod before. I hate cuddling while I'm sleeping. Yeah. Can't do it.
Tough. It's hard.
So I am pro 2 bedrooms. I am pro, we don't need to sleep together.
Yeah. I just, I get to a point where even if I've hosted a dinner party, by the end of the night, I'm like, oh, God, I can't wait till everybody's gone.
Well, and then we're about to have a Thanksgiving feast together. Well, I don't want to listen to you snore after you just ate for 6 hours.
Oh, my God, the tryptophan? No, absolutely not. The Thanksgiving snores, the apnea.
Although you do snore a little bit.
I do.
I heard you in Japan.
I
Too bad. It was a cute little snore.
I snored on the plane, and then I jerked awake and hit the kid next to me.
Why jerk?
I don't know. I just
What kind of no,
just
but why
startled.
that verb?
Oh, I just startled awake.
There we go.
I startled. I was coltish. Maybe I was having an illicit dream. I have no idea. But I snored and then lashed out with my left hand and hit the kid next to me.
So your roommates have all been men?
I think so, yeah.
I'm going to pick on the girls. I love them all dearly. Icky. Gross, nasty. Girls are way grosser to live with than boys. That is a fact. You cannot convince me otherwise. These girls, I get it. You shed when you shower. You have lots of hair. They will rip it off of their head and they will stick it on the wall. And then they will try, when you say, hey, that's disgusting and nasty, you need to change your behavior because it's psychotic. They will say, oh, I do that because it'll go down the drain.
Yeah.
And I go, why am I looking at a horror scene right now? Put that shit in the trash. Or the counter has all this hairspray residue.
Yeah,
they don't throw away clothes. None of them do. None of them.
Yeah. See, that also just sounds like what it would be like to live with a cross-dresser. Like, imagine living with...
But at least then...
with Gigi Debussy.
I go, but at least you can borrow their wigs. You could sneak into their room when they're not home, put the wigs on.
You could make a wig out of what's left in the shower.
You get caught being a drag queen.
Oh my God. Yeah, the fact that my roommate would go in and steal shit out of my room was just such a gross violation. Like, don't do that. What are we doing? What are we doing? Don't do that. He also, so we had, shortly before I moved out, we had this big knockdown drag out fight where I confronted him with all the evidence that he'd stolen from me. Like, he'd used, and this is evidence of how gross he was as a person. I had a full bottle of cologne that he had been just helping himself to over the course of the year, I guess, or however long. Empty. I had used it maybe twice. And I confronted him with this empty bottle. I was like, you used all of this fucking cologne. What is fucking wrong with you? And in a big, big dramatic moment. And the next night, it was something like that. I was still furious with him. I hear a knock at my door, and I'm at that point probably a couple drinks in, and I was a fighting drunk back then. So I was like, I'm going to rip this child's head off. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so scared. There's a mouse. Can you kill it? And I don't know how. I think I just realized that I couldn't threaten him or browbeat him to leave me alone. He was actually just that scared and out of his mind. And he was also farting uncontrollably. He was just like a nervous Nelly, and just, I think that was maybe the other thing. It's like, I need to take care of this because he's just going to keep farting. I have never been so close to laughter, but also wanting to murder somebody. It was so strange. And I caught the mouse. And I remember it ran up the handle of the toilet plunger, and then I whacked at the plunger and it landed in a trash can. And I wrapped up the bag and just whacked the bag against the wall a few times.
You're the girl with braces from Finding Nemo.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I remember I went out and threw it away, and I walked back into the apartment. I looked at him and I said, do not ever fucking come into my room again.
There's a mouse.
Did not give a shit. I hope it gave him rabies. Like, that's just that was maybe one of the last times I spoke with him. I hope he's dead.
I've never lived in a place that has mice. I would be on the I would have done what he did, to be honest, with you farting and all.
That was so outrageous. That was so just the extra layer on top of surreal. Like, this is a test. This is and I will fail because I will murder this homosexual.
Yeah, that would be the one instance. And I know if you're locked into a lease, I would have gotten a cat the next day.
100%. I've lived in really gross apartments. When I lived in Boston, we had roaches for days. And that was, you do get used to it if you're gross, and I'm trash. So it was just a fact of life. But in DC, my penultimate apartment, I had the little ones, and that was the one that got me really, really, made me feel really icky, because I was like, oh, they could be inside the tube of my coffee maker.
Yeah.
And that's why now I do pour over only. We adapt, darling.
The apartment I lived in when I moved to Minneapolis with my ex, we were in a garden level apartment, 1 bedroom. I say so much fucking money.
Pied-à-terre.
What?
A pied-à-terre.
Okay.
Don't react like that. That's how they market it these days.
What?
Anyway, continue with your anecdote.
cheap ass rent, $1,200 for two people living in a one bedroom. I saved a fuck ton of money in the 2 years I was there.
Yeah.
That relationship didn't last, but I wouldn't do it over because I saved a shit ton of money. But we found these centipedes, bugs.
Oh, yeah.
They were massive.
Were they the ones that have like the short legs and then the long legs in the back?
Yep.
Yeah, they eat pests that are good.
Alien Chihuahua. Like,
Yeah,
it was just horrifying.
I mean, it does do things to you to real that you have a bug infestation. I mean, I've never had bed bugs, thank God, but
People in New York normalized that.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
a weird
that
thing,
will
too.
fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
And in DC, my building, because it was so old and so large, they were just routine bed bug inspections from the owner, the company that owned the buildings. That was just, you hoped you didn't get it, but every now and again you did. But the little roaches in Boston, that was probably the worst, where it had a psychological effect on me because I would never cook at home ever, because it was just like there were bugs all over here. In DC, we had roaches too, and that was a thing where, again, roommate, I was a fall down drunk at the time, so I was not a terribly clean person. I'm a much cleaner person than I was then. And something on top of the refrigerator had like a bottle of, oh my God, a bottle of balsamic like vinegar had spoiled and popped its cork and was in a cabinet. And so there was this intense, awful smell. And then when I looked into that cupboard, there were just roach egg casings everywhere. Everywhere. Just that.
I can't.
Oh, that still.
I like literally, I cannot.
Yeah, that was hideous. The smell was unbelievably bad.
So you and Jamal are still friends?
Oh, yeah.
Could you live with a friend? Would they need to be a friend, I guess, is a better question.
Are they in an iron lung? No. I don't know. I really don't know. Living with a friend is a great way to kill a friendship, I've discovered. And I made it through with JP because for whatever reason, I made it. I mean, I also, when JP and I were living together in Boston, I also just up and decided to leave Boston and move to DC. And so that was like, I decided at the end of that summer, I was like, I fucking hate Boston. I'm leaving. And so I went to DC. Jamal and I, we successfully got through college, and then we were off into the wild blue yonder. So that what I mean to say is they had their own expiration dates, right? Like the roommate relationship did. I just don't know.
But you weren't friends when you moved in.
Oh, we were. Jamal.
You were.
Oh my God. Oh, so here's some gay lore. So gay in high school, scary, right?
No.
In college, I went to school across the street from the U.S. Naval Academy, and my sister went.
How convenient for you.
And my sister was at the Naval Academy for 2 years. We overlapped for 2 years in Annapolis, Maryland. Jamal and I, at that time, I was a freshman. I was living in a triple. JP. And then there was a third guy. What was his name? He was such a moron.
The imagery of that grunt was a dog like shaking a toy. Yeah.
Awful. And I forget how this even happened. Like, I forget what the precipitating incident was, but I was, the Naval Academy students, they're called midshipmen. When you're a student of the Naval Academy, you're a midshipman. That's your rank. So midshipmen and my college, there's a lot of like, we have an annual croquet match against each other. There's a friendly rivalry, whatever. And so midshipmen frequently would be on my campus. I worked at the Naval Academy Library when I was a junior. So, it was not uncommon to see midshipmen partying at my school on the weekends. And somehow, I don't know how, but a midshipman was, this is going to sound very melodramatic, but I don't know what other verb to use, hunting me, like was looking for me and trying to beat me up. And I don't know why. And like, he'd left like a gay slur on the whiteboard on my stupid dorm room. And like,
Natalie Portman and Black Swan.
It was my reflection. Yeah. No, it was really strange. It was like, I didn't know who he was at all, but he knew me for some reason.
Was he hate criming you? Was it because you were gay?
Yeah, it was that level of thing.
But he was gay. He was in the Navy.
Yep. Boom! There, take that! Join a real branch of the armed forces. Join Space Force, you queer. Yeah, so this guy was threatening me for some reason, and my idiot moron roommate, that wasn't JP, let him into my dorm room one night, or let him into the dorm building one night, and the guy was like, asked for me by name, And my idiot roommate's like, oh yeah, it's room 104. And the guy couldn't get in and wrote, whatever hateful message. So that was the first time I ever lived with Jamal, is I had to like move across campus. I got relocated.
To get away.
Witness protection. Heaney.
Dang.
Yeah. And then I've forgotten that. I'd filed that away. I hadn't even remember that. God, I'm courageous. And so it was a big stir on campus. It was really unsettling. It's like, I still don't know who the fuck that was.
Did you live with someone your freshman year?
Yeah, I had 2 roommates, JP, the big
this was freshman year. Okay.
And then that moron, Morgan was his name.
But you had your own room?
No, we were in a triple.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I'm like getting reoriented. I know what you
Yeah.
mean. So there's 3 bunks in the same room. Got it. Okay.
Awful. Maybe that's also why I love living alone now, because I've lived in a triple in college.
My roommate and he was actually from Burbank, California. We went to school in Grand Forks, North Dakota. My college was known for aviation. It's the #1 pilot school in the country because it's the prairie. So you can
crash a plane anywhere. Ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Totally. And so he came to school to study aviation. And I didn't know this at the time, and maybe he knew I was because everyone seemed to know I was gay before I did. But he was gay. He came out to take gay 2 years later. Huh. So there was 2 homos, 2 closeted homos living together.
Gracious.
Nothing ever happened, for those of you who are wondering.
Oh, yeah. See, that alone, I just absolutely not.
He would answer his and we lost touch. I do like him. And so if you're listening to this, I do like you. It's just this was very annoying. And he would answer his phone because he was an aviation student. They would go out and they would fly in the morning. They'd fly at like 5 in the morning. He would answer and talk to his boss or his supervisor at like 4 in the morning.
Oh.
He would answer the phone and like talk while I'm sleeping. And I would just look up because I didn't have my voice then. I would just wake up and I would just look at him. All I could have said was, Michael, couldn't you step outside? But instead I would just be really passive aggressive and I would just stare at him,
Before you found your voice.
Before I found my voice.
Before you stood up for what's right.
Exactly.
I'm so intensely glad I've been able to live alone. I mean, the other roommates, everybody's had them. Parents. It hurts so bad when you got to move in with the old mom and pa, with the old parentals for whatever got fucked up, and you gotta go back and stay with them for a little while. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had to do that?
No. The last time I lived
summer child
would have been my summer after my freshman year.
Wow.
So I went to school obviously, and then June through August. I don't know. Probably because I haven't had to do it for a long term. Like when I go back for Christmas, for example, I'm going to be there for 2 weeks and I'll stay with them the whole time. I have a kick with my dad. We watch a shit ton of movies and, I don't know, we talk a lot.
Something physiologically happens in my body where if I'm having to spend an indefinite amount of time at my parents', something happens. We're like, I gotta get out of here. Just start climbing the walls.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk shit about my dad too. My dad will follow me around, and that is weird. Oh, and sure. I realized this about 2 years ago, and I was like, I had to ask my mom about it. I was like, has he always followed me? And she goes, yes. And I go, why? And she goes, he just supervises. That's what he does. One time they just redone their downstairs bathroom. He was showing me. It's a bathroom. It's got a shower. It's got a sink. It's got whatever. He goes, and if you turn it all the way to the left, it's going to be scalding hot. It's going to be really hot. Well, duh. He's like, don't turn it all the way to the left. And then because he said that, I was like, I need to know how hot this is. Yeah. It wasn't fucking that hot. Like it wasn't scalding at all. It was like actually, and I like really hot showers. I pretty much had it all the way to the left.
Well, listen, you do have to, I mean, that's a liability. Okay.
Or if I have a dog and I'll bring my dog home and we'll be sleeping in like my room and I'll close the door. He'll go in at like 6, open the door, and then Stevie's all excited because she loves him, and then she'll like run out, and he wakes me up every time. It's like, keep the door closed.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave her out because she wants to sleep by him, and he'll be like, no, she should sleep with you. And why the fuck are you waking me up?
I mean,
maybe I don't like going. Maybe actually I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you're the problem. Maybe it's just your father wants to be near you, wants to spend time with his son, and here you are, churlish and ungrateful.
It's giving Shirley MacLaine. Have you ever seen Terms and Endearment?
Not in a long time.
Greatest opening scene because Shirley MacLaine like goes in and her baby's like sleeping and she doesn't know if she's breathing or not. She pinches it and then it starts crying and she's like, oh, thank God. And then leaves. She walks out. The baby starts crying and she just fucking leaves. She's like, that's so old school, but it's kind of giving my dad a little bit. He's like, she's still alive? Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, my ma, the way that we communicated back in my youth is so my parents' bedroom is at one end of the house and my sister and I, our bedrooms were at the other end of the house. And you just yelled at the top of your lungs to get a hold of somebody.
Hate.
Yeah, it still to this day, every now and again, like there'll be a moment in a song where somebody's like, hey! And it still sounds like my mother yelling for me and triggers an immediate spike in cortisol response. I'm just like, yeah. And so even now, if I'm staying with them, they still do the same thing. It is without fail the one thing that makes me want to pick up a gun and shoot people.
Yeah.
Just hearing my mother bellow for me from a floor up.
We have cell phones too.
Back in the day, we had an intercom.
No, intercoms, like I remember watching one on Richie Rich's Christmas Wish, and I was like, we need that because my mom shouts and screams, Troy!
Yeah.
And it's like, then they'll repeat, and it's like, oh man.
Yeah, that's unhealed damage that I take with me into the world where now I don't know.
My mom has not ever taken a pan out of her like little cabinet where you probably heard Chico without just boom, 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 boom.
What is it with parents and being unable to quietly retrieve a single cooking item?
And then I brought it up to her like probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, you make more noise than anyone I've ever heard do that. And then now every time I'm around, I know it's an insecurity of hers because she'll be like, sorry. I guess I do that. Or she'll slam the microwave door. It's like, what's happening?
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, roommates, no, neighbors, that's where I'm going to try and invest the most of my energy to being good. Is a good neighbor. Can't be a good roommate. I just can't do it. Well, after my first overdose, when I went to go live with my sister in Ohio for a summer, I was bad. I was not a good roommate.
See, I've come the other way. I was nervous about having a roommate, and now and granted, I have a really great roommate. He will like take my dogs on walks.
He's
like,
going to outlive both of us. Yeah,
he for sure will. But like, it's funny. I'll be driving home from the gym and I'll be like, oh, that looks like my dog. And I'm like, oh, that is my dog. And it's like, Derek's taking her for a while. He's incredible. And so I think just because he's good and like, it works really well for us, at least for me, maybe he doesn't feel the same, but, and I think because I am such an introvert who can just literally fuck off and never be seen again, it's truly good for me.
Okay. So what happens when he finds a lady pal, a special friend, a doubles partner, a business associate that he wants to run off with? And then there's no room for little old you. Where do you go?
I'm by myself. Oh. I do think he's my last roommate. I will say.
I'm killing myself tomorrow.
No, it's not a codependency at all. Cause like right now he's gone. And that's another thing too, is when he travels a lot, I travel a lot. And so I feel like we take weeks apart and that's really helpful. There's times like where I just want to be alone. And like what we were talking about earlier, where just him being there and I get annoyed of, but it's not him at all. It's just sometimes it's like, oh, we've both been here for 2 months straight and like someone needs to go. And then someone usually always has a trip. So.
Yeah. See, my eldest sister gave me great advice when I was younger. She's like, you need to be roommates with a flight attendant.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to that advice, or at least I never had a moment in my life, I think, where I could have taken advantage of it, but maybe I would have had a different trajectory. Maybe one less overdose if it lived with a flight attendant. Am I right, ladies?
See, but that lifestyle.
Flying places.
I just picture like they're always on the go. And granted, sometimes
the canoeing.
You work 4 days. I don't know. I work in treatment, so I know a lot of flight attendants who go and get treatment. So maybe I'm just thinking of like the disaster of it. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I think I would be a better roommate since I've given up the drink.
100. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That is probably.
You lose all 80%. Inhibition if you're high or drunk or anything. Yeah. You're not doing anything.
I mean, that other 20% is a pretty steep hill to climb of the work left to do.
So when I was a freshman in college, we had a suite. And so there was our room and then there was another room and we shared a bathroom. And my suite door got kicked in one morning by the police. Wow. I thought it was my suite mates who I was pretty close with. And I was about to beat their ass because I was like, it was loud. And I was like, Dylan! And then I opened the door and the police were like, go back to bed. And I was like, oh shit. You know. And so then I go back to bed and then the next morning I go out and I'm like, Dylan, what the fuck was that? And he was like, my roommate got caught with heroin.
Nice.
And I was like, did you know? And he was like, I figured something was up. And I was like, what were the signs? And he was like, he didn't get out of bed for like 3 weeks. And I was like, okay. He's like, no, he had like bed sores, which now I'm thinking might be like the needle injection sites. And I was like, I got to get out of here. So there was heroin in my suite.
Well, that's
Heroin in my suite, a Drake album.
the Lucas Miller story. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe the worst thing of all is realizing that in the story I tell myself, I've had a terrible roommate experience. I've had terrible experiences with roommates. Mm-hmm. It's never been the other people that were like the cartoon villain of the story. It's me. It is actually was always me. I was always the real loose cannon wild card in the story, which is, you know, maybe part of the reason why I don't inflict myself on someone else to live with. But, you know, you look around, it's relatively clean.
Yeah, no, it's very clean. You keep a tight ship over there. This is your pride and joy. Let's be honest. There's no reason to lie.
And I have a fancy dinner party.
You do. You host a lot of parties over here. You're very...
Invite a lot of people except for Abby Rose. Mark, Abby, hi, how you doing?
The one who wants it the worst.
Oh, she's going to be on the pod soon. Yeah. I threatened her with a visit to the pod.
She just met Josh Hutcherson. He was a crush of mine when I was in college. He was Peta in the Hunger Games.
Peter Millark.
Yeah. Do you know the Hunger Games?
You better believe it.
I would have thought you were too highbrow for that.
Nor.
Interesting.
I'm going to say something very douchey. Okay, what? I want you to prepare yourself.
Okay.
I read The Hunger Games in Chinese.
So this has been fun, and I mean, we're deviating off topic, but
I told you I am the problem. I am the
unbearable.
I know.
You could. It's not that you read it; it's that you just told me you read it in Chinese.
I still have the book. I still have the book. You were trying to be like, that's too highbrow. Like, no, I've read it,
and then you made it highbrow.
I read a Chinese translation of The Hunger Games.
Because here's the thing. I like fine things as well. I enjoy reading Pulitzer Prize winning stuff. I enjoy reading smut.
Listen, do not give Lucas caviar with a metal spoon.
No, okay. Listen.
It better be bone.
Listen. But there's nothing more annoying than someone who is like, I don't listen to Top 40. You know?
See, that's not me. That is not me. Let's not. I have been listening to Miss Addison Rae's. Okay.
It took you a year. We went to the beach last year, and I remember telling you, you would love this song, Diet Pepsi, because it's a Lana Del Rey song, and I know you like Lana. It took you a year.
I got around to it.
But not because of me.
I got to it.
Okay. You said, oh, he listens to that. I would never.
That is a horse puck. And I think you know.
Not Huckleberry Finn showing up here. Horse puck? You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Evan, drink it.
Evan, it's like vanilla Coke. It's Coke Zero. There's not even sugar in it.
There's a hornet inside the can.
My dad had that happen. A bee was in his Coke can as a kid, and he went to drink it, stung him in the throat. He almost died.
Nightmare.
He almost died.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to think of what I'm bad at, like roommate-wise, because I am really clean.
You don't smile a lot.
I don't smile a lot. You know what?
You really should smile more. It's good for a woman to
Here's
smile.
what I'm going to tell people. Okay, and I'm going to say this shit with my chest. I mean this. I'm not kidding, and I'm not going back on it. Not my job to make you feel good. Do you think people cared about me growing up in fucking North Dakota? Do you think people wanted to make me feel comfortable? No. But you know what? I showed up anyway. And you can sit in a room with me. You can sit in a room with me and deal with my stern face. Sorry I look like this. Go fuck yourself. I'm not smiling.
Can confirm he's not smiling. No, there's a little smile right there.
But I'm not an angry person. Like, I'm not like just like this bitter fucking haggard. It's just like, I'm not gonna like, I don't know how to fix my face. I don't know how to hide it. I don't know how to hide it. I don't. Like right now I'm smiling because it's funny. I get that this is an issue for people, and I'm like, I do not care.
Dear listener, I'd like to throw out, that was something I just reached for. It's like, maybe this will be a moment. This will be a shitty thing to say.
100%. And you know what? That is actually probably, I bet I come off pouty.
Out of the Rolodex of shitty things I could have said to you,
here's the real bad thing I am bad at. Hand washing dishes.
Oh.
I will.
Are you a let it soak overnight kind of gal?
No, I'm a dishwasher gal. So
Sure.
I clean the dish and then I get all the muck off and then I let the dishwasher do its job because that's what dishwashers are for. There are some people where they're very specific about, okay, I'm also going to ruin a lot of people's lives here. Very controversial statement.
If you say you put a cast iron skillet in the dishwasher, oh boy, whoa, we're going to get letters.
Hands and dishwasher.
We're going to get letters.
Put them right in there. I rinse them off and then I put it in the dishwasher.
Huh.
I don't care.
We're going to get letters. Okay, operators are standing by, kids. We want to hear what you think about Lucas's appalling kitchen habits.
And it's true. If I'm the maid of the relationship, I'll eat your food. Because not doing that shit for free.
Yeah, I mean, that is I mean, for some people, you can unwittingly walk into a trauma minefield that way. Like some people, who just by how they were raised or, whatever, they have food for them is a red line that you cannot cross. Like for instance, a friend of mine grew up with, shit tons of siblings, always snatching shit off of his plate. So he has this really, really strong reaction. If you like, even so much as like, oh, can I have a fry? Very disproportionate response. Another friend of mine in the military, same kind of thing, like during basic, I guess people kept trying to steal his food, will scream at you. Like, you do not take a fry off his plate. And so this is what I mean. Like, you may feel like I'm the maid, I'm going to have your leftover Carrabba's, but they probably have that in Fargo. It's a Baltimore area.
You know what's traumatizing for me? Other people's fucking filth in my living space. Yeah. And I have to take care of their shit because they won't.
Have you ever tried vocalizing your concerns?
All the time.
Oh.
I found my voice, Mama. That was my punishment year that I wasn't.
Come on, Mama Roo, now give me the crown.
Honestly, the boys, I haven't lived with girls in years, and again, I love these girls. Shout out to Brittany specifically. I think she's truly the love of my life. I know I've given that to Shara, but
yeah, Shara,
Brittany
earmuffs.
We would live together, and she really got me into Bravo, though. That's her fault.
Oh boy.
And I do have a bone to pick there because Bravo is ruining my life because I want to watch all of it.
Yeah,
I watch all of it.
Okay, so there's something I'd have a big problem with is hearing a TV going at all hours with something stupid. That would be a big problem for me.
My God, though. Salt Lake City. I've sent you, I just sent, yeah.
You did.
Mary Cosby has mentioned farting 3 weeks in a row.
Yep. I mean, listen, I can appreciate a good throwaway moment.
She was crying because they made fun of her for farting. And then she blamed the smell. She's like, my farts don't smell. That was your dog fart. It was like, Mary, you just farted. It was probably your butt. And she's like, no, it was the dog. And then they did a cut to the poodle that was manicured and groomed so beautifully. Like, I just don't understand. I hear it and I'm like, Luke, you're dumb. But then at the same time, I'm like, I just will never get rid of that. Mm-hmm. That brings me joy. And I am past the point of feeling guilty for having joy.
Listen, women's stories matter.
And that's another thing. It's fascinating watching middle-aged women talk about things that don't involve children. The children are like a C plot. They bring them up here and there, but for the most part, it's just conflict, and resolution.
I only started to get to know the Housewives franchises when it was back east instead of like all the Jersey and Italian ones. So it was like family is family. That was them.
I had never seen New York. Okay, this is actually truly embarrassing, but fuck it. I'm watching New York from the beginning. Uh-huh. And so there's the old New York and the new New York because it got so toxic after season 13, they fired the entire cast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, It got so toxic. But I'm with the original cast. I'm on season 6. I just watched the reunion where Aviva Drescher took off her prosthetic leg and threw it. It was iconic.
Famous Alaska referenced it in RuPaul's reunion.
I didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah.
I did not. I knew I had heard about it, but I'd never actually seen the imagery. And I was crying laughing.
Yes, you sent me a video.
And that was the rewatch. You should have heard the initial. I was a baboon on top of a table, fucking shrieking, screaming. Like, I could not get over it. But
yeah, see, if that was my roommate and I was in my room hearing that shrieking that hootenanny coming.
That's my favorite thing about roommates. So I was watching TV together. Love it.
Sure, it has to be together. If I'm in my room trying to write my magnum opus, okay. If I'm whittling. If I'm carving a gnome out of soap,
yep,
and I have to hear you watching your trash TV again, we're going to have a domestic incident.
Writing is very difficult. really, really need quiet and I need no one to be walking around. Otherwise, I will get distracted and I will go and do anything other than what I'm supposed to be doing. Because that's how much I hate writing or hate having to write until I'm writing. And then I'm like, oh, I love this. But yeah, that's difficult.
Have you ever had trade over while Derek's home?
Only at night. And sometimes in the morning and afternoon.
This is the other thing that irritates the shit out of me about roommates, especially now that I'm a woman of a certain age.
Yeah.
Where a guy my age would be like, oh, well, in the dating, as you get into the dating orbit, and they're like, my roommate's on. I'm like, you're 37 roommate. Why have you failed so profoundly for so many years?
Do you still judge people for having roommates in their 30s?
Obviously.
With the current rent?
Yeah, I say yeah, like, yeah, and it's justified. I understand it is not a justified knee-jerk reaction, but it is still a reaction that I have where it, especially when it comes to a dating or a romantical situation, my borderline personality disorder brain thinks of it as like, oh, okay, so you're just choosing your roommate and not choosing me? It is. I am the toxic one. I can recognize that.
Yeah. I would say like 4 or 5 years ago, if you'd have asked me at 31 if I'd have a roommate, I'd be like, fuck no, I'm going to be some fucking loser.
Yeah.
And now I have no interest in losing a roommate. I just, and it's not even
so dear,
but it's not even necessarily finances. Like I'm not even hurting in the bag that bad. Like I'm doing fine. I couldn't buy a home tomorrow by myself, but I'm like very comfortable. I could not live for a year. Not even that, but it's like, I just saved a fuck ton of money and I don't spend okay, I'm going to cut all this. But, all that's to say
up next, did you know that Lucas buys new dishes when his old dishes are dirty?
One time back when I was drinking, I did get fucked up. I puked all over my brand new comforter. Did I put that in my washer? No. I walked across the street. I threw it away in the Mormon church parking lot dumpster. I was like 23. I was like, you know what? This was burgundy. That's not my color. And I bought it from... No, wait. I bought that bed spray from Bed Bath & Beyond. I puked all over.
Threw up a gallon of wine.
A Mormon church parking, or a Mormon church in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
God.
That was when I was living with my brother and his wife.
Dear.
Which was fabulous. I got to live in their basement.
Oh, basements are hard.
I was 20 years old.
Oh, God. Somebody tried to make me live in a basement. That's an insane sentence. That's like, remember that?
It was Dale Dickey from Breaking Bad.
He was really intent on taking apart that ATM. I was really, really fixated on it. No. So there was that meth dealer I lived with. I forgot all about this. We didn't even get into this. Holy shit. So I lived with a meth dealer briefly in Seattle. I hate Seattle. And I didn't know he was a meth dealer historically. I did.
Put the pencil down.
Sorry. So I'd met this guy. He cut my hair and I'd met him, in Seattle, and I was living there briefly, back in 2016. Trump had just been elected. I had just gotten a federal job and then Trump froze hiring. So January, I was ready to move and leave Washington State behind for Washington, D.C. And then suddenly it's like, oh shit, I'm going to be here a while. So, I move into a house in Seattle, in the southern part of the city, Columbia City specifically. And my roommate, we'll call him Sean, mutual friends of Sean's and mine were at the house. He's just bought the house. He's renovating it. And it's like a sweetheart deal. Like, yeah, whatever. Just come live in the house as I renovate parts of it. It'll be super cheap. And, you're only here for a short amount of time. Mutual friends like, oh, so how do you know Sean? And I said, oh, we met in prison. And the temperature in the room dropped by about 5 degrees. And I was like, wow, oh shit, that joke really didn't land. And I move on. And, later on, one of the friends comes up, and he's like, so, what were you in for? And he followed up on the joke and I said, oh, gracious, I was just being a little stinker. I didn't do time. They said, oh, did you not know? I said, oh, what? They said, Sean did 7 years in federal prison for dealing meth in Everett, Washington.
Which is your name.
Which is my name.
I have driven by Everett, Washington.
It is a pit. Wherever you are in the world, the weather is worse in Everett. But I remember just looking, like, you mean Sean, my roommate Sean? dealt meth in Everett, Washington. Wait, there's a naval station there. What do you mean?
So it was Dale Dickey.
It was Dale Dickey, yeah. And Sean, when I moved into this place, there was a bedroom on the ground floor, a bedroom, like a tiny little sort of attic without a door, but it was like a nook, I guess is how you'd market it. There was that. There was the master bedroom. It's like, okay, you can either live in this room or there's one downstairs, the basement. It's unfinished, but it'd be super cheap. And I go down and look at the basement. It's just like there's a tarp over soil, right? Like a tarp over dirt, uneven floor. It's like, yeah, this is not going to do it.
A raccoon feasting on the corpse.
Right. They're like, this simply won't do. So a meth dealer once tried to get me to live under the house. He was, listen, when you live with dirt bags, you're gonna have sex with your landlord. I regret saying that. Keep it in. Don't take it out.
Roommates. You can't live with them.
I must live without them.
But you can't live without them. Derek, I love you, buddy.
Derek, you're a good dude. Jamal, I adore you. JP, real stand-up guy. Katie, very fond of you. Your kids are adorable. Who am I forgetting? Sean, wink. You dirtbag.
I've had too many. I truly have. I can't go through them all.
Oh, God. I hope never again. Do you want to live with me? Nope, I do not want to live with you. Maybe